Hey guys, hi, how are you all? Good morning. And how is it going on? I mean, how are you all feeling right now today? I just wanted to know, just make some noise in the chat, right? How are you all? And what are you guys doing? And what are you guys actually like looking up to today's session? I just want to know these all things before we start. So, hey, hi again. This is Sai Kiran, the chief upgrader at LetsUpgrade.in. And today we are going to talk about lot of digital analytics, right? So, what is digital analytics? Like before talking about like digital analytics, let me introduce you to Nidhal Firoz. Nidhal is our today's speaker and the trainer for the day, and he will be taking up the session on this particular like digital analytics, particular storytelling act, right? So now talking about it in more detail, I just want to make sure that you guys understand it very quickly. First of all, every one of you know that thing like digital marketing is the future, right? Every one of you know is the like digital marketing is the future. There is no more any kind of marketing happening where the print media marketing is happening up. Okay, so every one of you may be knowing that thing. The print media budgets are been like slashed up to half or more than that, and like the big technology giants, not only technology giants, every company. So each and every company requires digital marketing professionals, and that's why we were like, okay, we are Let's Upgrade community. Why don't we upgrade our people into digital analytics and media? Right. So yep, now here goes the today's topic, that is digital analytics and the art of storytelling. Nidhal will be touching up upon like first how to build your profiles greatly first before starting up any kind of program. The first thing is like first and foremost is how to start how to build your profile so nicely that everyone is wanting to join or like wanting to take you onboarded on a personal life and a like career life of an individual person. The second thing he's going to touch upon like what are the basic analytical rules in Google Analytics or like any kind of digital marketing analytics. So he's going to like what is the funnel for any e-commerce? How do we convert from like A to B and goal? So before he starts in like the whole session, I would like to touch upon one of my the favorite topic in digital analytics and marketing, that is AIDA. Okay, AIDA. So what is AIDA? AIDA is nothing just but a kind of a session in which like what we say, A is like attract, then I is like interact, design is like what we say desire, D for desire, and A for action. Where A is like the attraction. As soon as a person sees your ad, that person should be so much attracted to your that particular ad. Then afterwards, second thing, after seeing that attraction, then he should be like interacting with your ad. Then the third one is like you should be curating to the desire of the particular customer. And the last step is like make him action there then and there itself. The action is like give up the lead of the particular customer so that we can talk to you. So that's the best concept which I love in digital analytics. Now to continue on further, now from here onwards, like Nidal will carry forward. But before that, today we have a small contest. Okay, so now what is the contest for every one of you? Now every one of you may be using a smartphone right now. Every one of you may be having the WhatsApp. So what you have to do is like simply take a screenshot. Okay, simply take a screenshot of today's thing which is happening up. Okay, take up a screenshot. Okay, just uh, take up a screenshot, and as soon as you take a screenshot, just go on WhatsApp, Instagram, or anywhere wherever you want to post this screenshot. Okay, just post it on your screenshot. Put letsupgrade.in as a description, nothing else. Okay, just put letsupgrade.in as a description and post the screenshot. Whosoever will be getting maximum views before this session ends, okay, before this session ends, that is like 1.5 hours, whosoever will get the maximum views will get one-on-one mentorship session with the today's trainer and with me for digital analytics and marketing, right? So today is like the whole prize is the person who will be having maximum views in the status of putting your YouTube live status. So they will be getting like one-on-one mentorship session with me and Nidhal Firoz for your digital marketing career or like any kind of career what you want to set up. Just you need to take up one screenshot and post it in your group, and in the end of the day, Nidhal will be asking you whose views are more, and based upon the views, and you need to submit that whole screenshot of the views into our what we say Google form, and we will be awarding the best person who is getting most views in the time frame within this completes the whole competition. They will be getting one-on-one mentorship session. So what you need to do is just take up a screenshot, post it on WhatsApp, take the screenshot of the maximum views you have, post it on like what we say Google form, which you will be getting in the live chat right now. Going further, they will be having the max. They will be awarded with one-on-one mentorship session. So with this, all the notes, I would like to go forward. I would like to take Nidhal a step forward. And okay, so now let us switch back to Nidhal, right? So I'm stopping the stream, and with Nidhal will be starting it right.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hope I am visible right now. I just need confirmation from you all on the YouTube chat that you are able to see my screen as well as the audio and the video. So one of you please confirm on the YouTube chat. Okay, I see a yes. Uh, can I get a confirmation for both the the audio, the video, as well as the screen on my desktop or on my laptop? Right? See my screen. Can someone say maybe yes for all three, just so that I get confirmation, right? All good, awesome. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the session on digital analytics and the art of storytelling. You are doing a very good thing on a Sunday, right? I used to do a lot of these things not long back ago. It was probably 5 or 6 months back that I started attending webinars, seminars, going to these online events, conferences, just taking part in everything, anything and everything that I could do, and use my weekends very productively, right? So that was the habit that actually changed my life. I have a lot of mentors. One of my brother-in-law is one of my biggest mentors, Fakhsham Farouk. You know, he has always been a good motivation source for me. I've also had other mentors from the industry. I'm going to talk about different platforms where you can get mentorships. Like Sai already mentioned, and thank you for the very warm and kind words, Sai. Um, like Sai already mentioned, there's a lot of scope for mentorship. We can do one-on-one mentorships as well as other things to add value to your career. If you haven't started your career, okay, maybe you want to go ahead and start your career. So we are ready to give you a boost there. Plus, any other kind of help that we can provide. So, and right now, I believe is the time that we should all come forward, contribute to the community because people are staying at home, people need to stay safe, and everybody needs to actually make use of the time that we have right now and learn as much as we can. So that's just a very very brief start or introduction, right? So I hope you all had your breakfasts. I don't know how many of you have morning routines. I do have a very strong morning routine. So I'm having my morning tea also here right now. We also feel free to have your morning routines. um, just taking a quick look at the chat here, just to make sure that we're not having any kind of blockers or any other things. Yeah, see some. Okay, is the sound audio? Are people having issues with audio? Can someone please confirm? I think someone mentioned that the sound is not clear, so I want to just make a quick check. Okay, the audio is clear. So I get a yes from Vision Analytics. I think that means that the audio is clear. Assuming that. Okay. Voice is a bit weird. So, guys, there could be a couple of reasons why the audio is not working. Either it's on my end or it's on your end. So, please double check the network quality at your side as well. Um, you know, and just keep me posted on the chat. I'll be keeping tab of the chat just to see, what's the uh, what are the problems. Yeah, I think that there's some kind of breakage in the audio, but I'll keep going forward. Yeah, I'll give an introduction about myself as well. So it's all part of the slides. It's all part of the content. So you'll be able to see all of that. Okay. So I'll go ahead and start my slideshow. So, like the topic mentioned, storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world today. So, if you know about you know uh, what is storytelling, there are different ways in which you can interpret the word storytelling. What I mean to say by storytelling is the power of storytelling using data. We'll come to more of that today. So this is just a quote to get your thoughts started and get it proper. Thank you for confirming the sound is okay. Um, so here goes the story of my life. So vision analytics, you were asking for, what is the story of my life, what has been happening so far. So since this is a session on storytelling, I'm going to talk a bit more about my story. You can all take away some key pointers from it, some of the different things that I've done so far, what have added value to my career, what have added value to my current profile or my CV right now, all of those things. So here's the journey so far, guys. Uh, I have been an aptitude, quants, and GDPI trainer at Focus Academy for Career Enhancement. This was after my BTech in mechanical engineering. This was for a period of 6 months, close to 6 months. I visited almost 15 to 20 colleges, educational institutions, across southern India mostly. I don't know how many of you have heard of FACE. FACE would have probably visited some of your colleges as well, in case you're aware of it. So I used to be a FACE trainer. That was a very critical juncture in my life where I could improve myself as a person. I could learn better soft skills. I could communicate myself better, and I was uh, very much enthusiastic about being involving in public speaking. So that was a game changing moment for me. The next milestone is my social media internship at GoZoop Online Private Limited. I don't know how many of you have heard about GoZoop, but it's a pretty big online media agency. It is an established startup. They've been doing online digital agency work for brands like even Kolkata Knight Riders, Hypercity, among other brands. So Gozoop is where I did my internship for a couple of months. I did a lot of content creation. There was a lot of marketing campaigns. I worked with my colleagues on a couple of Twitter campaigns and made it viral. All of those things. Then I joined for my MBA, right? So this GoZoop was during my first year. After my first year of MBA, there was a 2 months internship period. That's when I was at GoZoop. So this was part of my MBA, to be honest. So I did my MBA from Nirma University. After that, there was campus placements, and I joined Course 5 Intelligence, which was formerly known as Blue Ocean Market Intelligence, as a senior analyst. Now, this was one of the very rare job profiles in the entire placements, right? Most of the jobs that we had at Nirma placements were, marketing, pure marketing jobs, pure sales jobs, bank jobs. But, we had very few companies coming in and actually coming forward with a data analytics profile, and that was a game changing moment for me. That's why I'm in this industry. I did not choose to be here, you know fate chose it. So I randomly applied for that profile, and I've always been very very interested with numbers, quants, mathematics. It's been always my favorite subject. That's one of the reasons why I was an aptitude trainer, and I used to do a lot of problems for time, speed, and work. Time and work, time, speed, and distance, and other topics in quant. So I've always been a fanatic of numbers. So you can probably, if you have a like for numbers as well, probably this is the industry for you as well. Right? You can also check it out. After that, I have served as an analytics trainer. I've done a lot of corporate training within my organization, mostly where I've conducted training sessions on Power BI. I've also conducted training sessions on business call etiquette, and how when you're getting on a Skype call with a client. Yeah, I was post five Anis. Yeah, I'm working with in Anis. I'm addressing the question in the chat. Yeah, I know Anis. So I'm engaged with the DAA. Now DAA stands for Digital Analytics Association. Probably you may want to Google it. Digital Analytics Association is a worldwide community that is purely focused on content on digital analytics. They have conferences. They have a lot of webinars. They have a lot of community discussions where people come forward with their problem statements. The community comes together and solves those problem statements. So I'm a member of DAA. I have been involved in conversations to get a local Mumbai chapter for DAA. That is part of the plan, but it's something in the works. And right now, due to the scenario of COVID-19, you're probably aware that maybe right now is not the best time to pursue that. That's why I've kept it on hold. So EAA is one thing. BIA is another institute that I've worked with. Let's Upgrade is another. Currently I'm working extensively with Let's Upgrade also. So I'm also part of the Tableau user group in Mumbai. So this is just an introduction about what I've done. This is my professional one-slider deck, which is what I usually send to the clients for my consulting engagements. I've provided a few contact details there. So I'm one of the 150 DAA certified web analysts in the world. So that's another examination or certification that I did. Quick snapshot of what are the things that I've done during my career of 3.5 years. Now, I'll talk about digital analytics. So I think a lot of people want to know more about digital analytics. So here's the entry strategy for digital analytics. Uh, you know, One of the quick things I would suggest is connect with Let's Upgrade. You're already connected with Let's Upgrade, which is good. Let's Upgrade does a lot of courses. It does a lot of meetups. There is digital analytics also that's part of some of their course curriculum. So we are going to come up with a lot more of stuff. Sai gave you a better idea about it. So that's one thing that you can definitely do. LinkedIn profile. So I don't know how many of you have a LinkedIn profile. Can people mention within the chat if you have a LinkedIn profile or not? Just respond with a yes or a no in case you have a LinkedIn profile. Yes. Responses from Ajay, Shivam. Yep. Awesome, guys. I mean, so far, getting a lot of yeses and no nos, which is good, which means you're already one step ahead of a lot of others. Yeah, this is great. So you already have a LinkedIn profile, which is good. That's what you need to do. Like out of all the social media, accounts that I have, my favorite one is LinkedIn. You all will have your personal favorites, I'm sure. You may want to spend more time on your, YouTube or your Facebook or your Instagram, but I spend more time on LinkedIn myself. That has helped me a lot in learning, a lot of new things, in following and connecting with the people from my industry. So that's always helped me. Pursue the relevant certifications. So obviously there are a lot of certifications that are available. Let's Upgrade also is coming up with a certification course where you will get certified by NSDC, you will get certified by ITM, NASCOM, and Let's Upgrade as well. So these are some opportunities. There are many more. I'll talk about a bit more in the next slide. Networking is the new Naukri. So this is something, if you ask anybody who's like a pro at switching jobs, most of the times, most of the people will respond saying that they knew people, they talked to people, they met with people during an event, then that's how they got into a new job. So talking to people is always, you need to have a lot of connections. You need to leverage the power of your networking. So just in case you want to get into the digital analytics industry, you need to start doing networking and build your professional network. You need to take part in job fairs, walk-in interviews and referrals. So job fairs and walk-in interviews are right now out of the, not the right time to do it probably, but referrals is the most important one. Like I said, networking. If somebody is able to refer you, if somebody is able to tell and communicate to you that we are having an opening and that we are looking for a candidate for the past 4 or 5 months, people are facing this problem. There's a big gap between the actual availability of jobs and the number of people who are actually unemployed, but you're just not able to connect that gap. That's where your reference can actually help you. You can enroll in job portals. That's something you have probably already done. LinkedIn Jobs is also a good portal. You want to you can also take part and engage in community discussions, seminars and webinars. So this is what I take part in very actively. you need to also continuously work on upgrading your CV. So every day, take a half an hour or a 1 hour, make it a part of your morning routine where you are actually spending time on yourself and only yourself, not anybody else. That is the biggest investment that you can make. You need to continuously learn, then upgrade your CV also parallelly. So that's another thing. There are a lot of LinkedIn groups which have like focused discussions on digital analytics and the like. So that's another thing that you can do, right? Now, I already asked this question. Do you have a LinkedIn profile? So you saw this hashtag, right? You know what it symbolizes in the social media. The power of hashtags is very much evident to you, right? Now, if you have a LinkedIn profile, now let's do a very quick exercise. So here's the steps for the exercise. Number one, share the URL of your LinkedIn profile in the chat window. So you just go to linkedin.com, click on your profile, and then copy the URL at the top, paste it in the chat window. Let's all do that now. It's a very quick activity. Just in case any of you don't have a LinkedIn profile right now, you can go ahead and sign up. It is very quick steps. It's 2 to 3 minutes. You should be able to sign up and create your own LinkedIn profile. You just need your email ID and set up a password. So you can also set up a new LinkedIn profile just in case you do that. So let's all post your LinkedIn profile on this chat window. Waiting for the first entry. Probably people are logging into LinkedIn. So just to give you another 20 to 30 seconds to do that. Is the audio good, guys? I just want to do a health check. The audio, the video, and other details. Are you able to view it? Okay, because can you please explain on what are the challenges you're facing? Like, is it specifically on audio or video? Okay. But are you able to understand even if the audio is not that good? Okay. Getting a few yeses, which means you are able to understand what I'm trying to say. That's the end motive of this whole session, right? So, I'm going to target that. Okay, I'm still waiting for the LinkedIn profiles, guys. Um, okay, you're able to understand. That's great, Adnan. Confirming that. Okay, Karan. Yep. I'll go ahead to the next step. So you can post your LinkedIn profile URLs in the chat window whenever you log into LinkedIn and find that. I'm going to paste a link in the chat window. So just give me a second. Yeah, I just pasted a link in the chat window. So if you just go to that link, just navigate to that link. Let's see what comes up there. So this is a LinkedIn update that I just did, like 5 minutes back, and it is about this particular session that we are on. So if you are able to, uh, you know, navigate to that link, the next step is okay. You need to sign in using your LinkedIn credentials. If you don't have one, you need to sign up, and you need to like the post and add a comment along the lines of I am attending this data talk session and with the hashtags let's upgrade and digital analytics. So Vikas, to answer your question, this session is about digital analytics and the art of storytelling. So I'm going to go into the content just a couple of minutes from now. I'm going to get into the depth of the core of the content. So yeah, you can you just need to probably sign in using a different window styling, so you can do that. uh, so you just need to add a comment along the lines, as well as get this post engaging. This is just to get get trending on LinkedIn. Let's try and reach out to more people as we do this session. Let others also know that there's something that's happening like this, so that other people can also join in. You can also send me a connection request on LinkedIn with the note. So when you're sending a connection request on LinkedIn, you can add a note. There's an option to add a note. On the note section, you can add a note saying that we met on the meetup. So let me just share my profile link with you guys. Just posted it in the chat. So you can probably go to that profile and send me a connection request. Now, the reason why I'm asking you to send a connection request, so it will be more beneficial for you rather than for me. If you look at the next point that I have written here, so I'm going to add you to a focused LinkedIn messaging group where I keep sharing relevant content on the latest trends in analytics, as well as a lot of free online, conferences, virtual experiences. For example, how many of you are aware of a company called Adobe? Can you please respond in the chat? How many of you know the company called Adobe? If you have heard of Adobe, you can just mention a yes in the chat. Yep. Awesome, Ashish. Great to see you here. A lot of familiar faces, chat. Obviously, yeah. So yeah, Adobe Acrobat Reader is a product that probably a lot of you have used. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Adobe Analytics. That's one of the market leaders in the web analytics industry. Uh, so I'm going to talk about the Adobe Summit that happened this year, as well as how they, made it free and virtual for everybody to attend. You can also check out my latest video on GA versus GA 360. So you can just go to my profile, go to my activities. There was a video about Google Analytics versus Google Analytics 360 that I had uploaded in the chat. We'll talk more about Google Analytics, and you'll actually get more insights there. So the best sources for learning, if you're looking at digital analytics, one is LinkedIn, definitely, like I already mentioned, and then there is LinkedIn Learning as well. So it was formerly known as lynda.com. Probably some of you might have done courses on lynda.com. Then the next best that I recommend is the Google Analytics Academy. So you just need to go to Google, search for Google Analytics Academy, and then you will find the a link to a portal which has free certification, Google certifications for Google Analytics, beginners, advanced. There's also for Google Data Studio, which is a dashboarding tool by Google, among a lot of other things. You can go to the Tableau official website. Tableau is a visualization tool. I'm going to be talking about Tableau in more detail during one of my future sessions. Adobe Analytics, if you want to know about Adobe Analytics, you can refer to the documentation and the videos on the official website. They have done a lot of significant documentation there. Coursera, edX, and similar websites. These are all learning portals. You can also attend webinars and seminars. So you need to sign up for webinars and seminars. If you do sign up for one, then you will get access to more. So you just keep building that links, and keep attending more of these. If you are a data science enthusiast, I guess most of you are. So you can do hackathons. You can take part in hackathons, and there are a lot of category competitions as well. Moreover, right now is the best time to learn. Like I mentioned earlier, because of the COVID-19 situation, everyone is at home. People are getting a lot of time. Let's leverage that time, invest in ourselves and learn something new every day. I will say save the best one for just a bit later. So my favorite source of learning is a totally different one, and I'm going to talk about that later in the session. So a couple of things that I've included in this session is going to be a quiz that's going to happen somewhere in the middle of the session. And also there's also going to be another couple of productivity tips, or basically productivity apps that you can explore. So the other source of learning, my favorite source of learning, is a productivity app that I'm going to introduce in a slide, just a few slides away from here. So stay tuned for that, guys. uh, what is digital analytics? So this is, now we're getting into the core of the topic. What is digital analytics? I would like you all to do, if you're already aware of what is digital analytics, just post what you understand in the chat. I'm keeping the mic closer to my mouth, just to have ensure that the audio is fine. So Hafiz, thank you for confirming that. Um just post in the chat, what do you know about digital analytics? If you don't know about digital analytics, maybe do a Google search and find out, and then just put it in the chat. Let's do it, guys. So, Siley, I can see that there's some refreshing issues. Probably you can close your browser, reopen it using the same link, and try that. You may not be able to hear what I'm saying because for you the video is visible. But yeah, probably somebody can help you with that. Okay, Vikas, online analysis on some data, that's really great. That is definitely part of what you do. Yes. What else? Come on, guys. Let's all participate in this. Let's all learn from each other. Okay. It's a process of analyzing digital data, definitely. How to grow our business marketing using various tools for collecting, measuring. Totally. Yeah, all of your points are spot on. Analysis of digital data. That's right, Amol. I'm sure you've worked on digital analytics before, so you have more familiarity as well. Ashish says analyzing usage patterns of a website. That is definitely true. Yeah, I got a few definitions. So good contribution, guys. All of you are spot on point. I'm going to give you a more collective overview of what is digital analytics. So, like we said, the entire theme of this uh, YouTube live session is storytelling. So let's start with a story and try to understand what is digital analytics. So I'm going to take you to a story. Let's see how interesting the story will be for you. Yeah, I'm seeing a few more inputs. So Adnan says that analyzing digital data from various sources like websites, mobile applications, etc. That's totally correct. You definitely analyze qualitative and quantitative data. Uh, Analyzing using applications. Spot on, Farhan. Analyzing how to analyze the behavior of the customer. Totally. Yeah, the best part, maybe Google is helping you out with this, but I'm getting all the correct answers. Nobody is giving, an answer that is off track, but that's good. That's good. So you understand what is digital analytics, right? Let's go ahead and start with the story. So here's the story. Walter. Imagine that Walter is, one of your virtual friends. You have a friend called Walter. He owns a jeans store chain called WJ Jeans. You can see a lot of jeans lined up in the background. That's probably a snap taken from one of Walter's jeans stores, right? Now, WJ Jeans is his business. Now, okay, so Walter has his own jeans store chain. How cool is that? He probably has some money, right? You're probably thinking that, okay, he has invested some money, probably has arranged some money from somebody, then he has set up his own jeans store chain. Let's see what happens next. He has over 20 stores across multiple states in India. Okay, now what is the image that comes to your mind when I gave you this additional point? 20 stores across India. This guy is probably pretty rich. He's doing well in business. Not necessarily he's doing well in business, but at least he did some good business to reach this state, right? So your perceptions about Walter changed the moment I, added the next point. Uh, Still seeing a lot of pointers on the group. You're all on the right track. Yeah, you need to analyze raw data and make conclusions. Yeah, Pratnya. And Ajay says the behavior of the customer, which we already talked about. So, next point in the story, he wanted to increase his brand awareness online. Okay, he wanted to. So he has your mom and pop store or your brick and mortar store, which is like your physical retail outlet in 20 stores across multiple states in India. he wants to increase his brand awareness online. Now, a lot of people living in different parts of India may not be aware of a chain called WJ Jeans owned by Walter. He wants to make his brand more visible online. What should he do? Let's put it in the chat, guys. What do you think that Walter should do to increase his brand awareness online? How can Walter increase his brand awareness online? What should he do? Analyzing data digitally. Yeah. Social networking. Yeah, he should use the power of social networks, right? So Prachi, to address your point, he needs to analyze the data digitally. But right now, there is no digital data being generated, right? So that step will definitely be part of the process, and at a later stage, he needs to create a website. That's right, spot on point. Social media ads, advertise. Yes, he, website should be the first thing, Amol. Yeah, I agree with you. He should make attractive ads, analysis of sales data, clickbaits, very different kind of answers, a lot different from the usual answers that I get when I present this. Okay, so this is what he did first. He hired an agency for social media setup. So I mentioned earlier that I've worked with a social media agency named Gozu. There are a lot of other agencies out there who can set up your social media profile. Even before building your website, it's not necessary that you need to build your website for social media setup. Now, there are two ways to do it, right? You have social media, you direct the people who come to your social media page onto your, the offline stores. So that's where Walter is going to use it. He's going to create it for brand awareness. He's not selling online. He wants to let people know at these locations within different states in India, I have stores. Please come forward. You can get it and buy. And these are the kind of products that we are selling. Or maybe just talk about the brand and other things. Now, social media is for driving offline sales, not online sales at this point. Okay, so yep, online marketing, important point, Karan. He decided to set up presence in the e-commerce space. So now he has a social media setup. He wants to take the next big leap. He wants to set up presence in the e-commerce space. What does that mean? E-commerce space. Some of you already mentioned that in the chat, right? What he needs to do next is create a website for his brand. That's the next thing that he's gonna do. Okay. So he set up wjjeans.com. Now, maybe probably don't try go to explore wjjeans.com. This is my story. I cooked it up. This is not an actual website. Okay. So wjjeans.com is what the name of the website that Walter owns, and Walter is all of our virtual friend. He set it up with help from a web developer. So, a web developer is a person who can, create the website for him using different scripting languages. Now, his online storefront is set up and it is back to business as usual. So, his website is set up, he's all good to go. He's just waiting for, what is the next big thing that he can do. Now, if you remember the www or the .com boom as they call it, it used to happen, a couple of decades back, where everybody was like, I need a website. That's the next best thing to do. So people started migrating into websites. That was a big boom in the online or the internet marketplace. What happened after the boom that came after the .com boom is the digital analytics boom. What is digital analytics for, right? Let's look at what could be the problem statement that Walter is facing. So Walter has offline stores, he has a social media agency, he has a web developer setting up a website for him. He's still having problems. These are his problems. He is unable to measure the KPIs of his e-commerce business. What is KPI? Can somebody put in the chat? What do you think is a KPI? Yes, Ashish, he can definitely do referral programs and SEO. Totally. So, just to add context, along with his social media setup, once his website is set up, he can also do SEO and referral programs that will definitely drive traffic to his website. Yeah. make customers to buy his products. Yep, key performance indicators. Yeah. Adnan, you're 66.67 percentage correct. The last word should be indicator. Key performance indicator is the key. Yeah. So if you join an organization, I don't know how many of you are already working. If you join an organization, you will have a lot of KPIs. What are KPIs? Those are the key performance indicators that are given to you to assess your performance. So these are the key areas that you need to actually, show your performance in. Like for example, if one of my KPI is, managing my team, working with my team, collaborating with other teams to solve problems for the customer. One of my other KPIs is client satisfaction. How happy is the client with my work? So those could be KPIs. Now for Walter, what could be the KPIs of his business? What are the different measurable attributes of his business that Walter wants to measure, right? And understand that, okay, there's this number that I'm looking at. This number tells me that my website is doing really well. What could be one of those KPIs? Can somebody mention a few KPIs that could be, good KPIs of the e-commerce industry? Ajay, your point is very, very well elaborated and it is definitely on track. It is used by corporate executives and managers to track. Totally true. From an employee standpoint, that's what KPI stands for. Let's get responses from you on what KPI stands for. It stands for key performance indicator, but what could be some of the KPIs for an e-commerce business? What are the numbers that will tell you that your website is performing well? Think about it, guys. Post some entries. Total number of traffic. Uh, Fasham is my mentor. Thank you for that input, Fasham. He's my brother-in-law and my mentor. So that's totally on point. Total number of traffic visiting my website, right? If you're at a store, if you have your CCTV footage, you know how many people are coming in. Obviously, you'll need some kind of AI or some kind of algorithm to actually detect the faces and make a count of that. You need to program that. But there are other sophisticated softwares which do it also. They take the number of people who come into the store, they take the CCTV footage, analyze it, and there are basically those are basically store traffic counters. Similarly, on your website, how many people are visiting your website? That's something you definitely need to measure. That will tell you something about how well your website is performing. Gross profit, yeah, profit. Profit is something you definitely need to measure. On your online sales, you directly don't measure the profit from your website. But yeah, that's a good attempt. Um, Customer feedback. Yes, customer feedback will tell you a lot of things. How many purchases? Definitely the number of orders, right? The number of orders that are being. Age group, fashion trends, the client is interested. Okay, these are things that, okay, Ajay, to address that, that's on point. To address that in more detail, these are the things that I need to know to sell more and to actually target more people. But the age group of the people that are visiting does not tell me about the KPI, whether my business is performing well, right? Um, Being very, very brutally frank here, because you need to uh, know what are the things. But again, good attempt. The answers. Conversion rate. Depend. I'll come back to that point. Very valid point. Very good point. Customer lifetime value. Yes. Measuring customer lifetime value is a pain though. It's a difficult process. You need a lot of data points. Sales marketing. Repeat purchase rate. Okay. Ratings. Okay. Top pages. Yes. Amol. Important point. Yeah. So let's look at. We'll be looking at what are the KPIs of e-commerce business now. How does he solve this problem, right? Now he has a website. How many of you have a website? Question for all of you. How many of you have your own website? You know, those people who have your own website will have the best takeaways from this session. Okay, great, Amol. Okay, Sachin, your input on ratings for Google SEO or SEM. Okay, some of you don't have a website. It's at some point in life you'll be setting up your own website. or you may know somebody else who owns a website, like for example your family business has a website, or somebody else, your friend, anybody. My website work is going on. Even this is the right time for you to actually utilize the information that I'm going to provide to you, in case you're not already aware of it, and probably set it up. I'm going to talk about it more. Yeah. So let's see what is the solution for the problem statement that Walter is facing. How to measure the KPIs of his e-commerce business. Now enters your digital analytics. Digital analytics, or the digital analytics boom that I was talking about, was when people started realizing that okay, now Google has come up with amazing tool called Google Analytics that will help me measure how many people are visiting my website, what is the different activities that they are performing on the website, among a lot of other things. So that was the scope of digital analytics, and I think close to 2006 or 2008, that is the time when digital analytics was like in its full trending mode. It's still trending, but that was the boom state, and the peak. Why digital analytics? Now let's look at what are the different reasons why you should have digital analytics. It enables collection, measurements, analysis, visualization, and interpretation of what digital data, customer behavior. Now, I suppose all of these points that I've listed here are self-explanatory. If you have questions in understanding any of these, please put it on the chat. I'll explain it for you. It's pretty simple and straightforward, right? You need to collect the data, the digital data. So somebody talked about collecting digital data earlier, right? That's exactly back to your point. Before setting up his website, he couldn't collect the digital data, but now that his website is set up, the digital data. I think Prachi had called out earlier that you need to analyze the data digitally. So that's what we're talking about. Interpretation. So interpretation is basically you have data, you look at that data, and then you interpret something out of it. You create a conclusion from that data. So you analyze that data, understand it, and then tell people that okay, this is what I looked at, this is what I found out. So what you found out, that is your interpretation. So if you look at the icon that I've put there in the interpretation, that person near the whiteboard or the web page or whatever is looking at the chart. He's pointing at that chart and he's saying that okay, this low point in the chart is telling me this about whatever. That's interpretation. Uh, Measurement. So measurement is basically you need to measure. So how do you measure? Are my revenue numbers, are they low, are they high, right? How do you measure on your digital analytics web, using digital analytics on your website? You need to measure by a counter. So for example, for revenue there is a counter. Every time a person purchases something, goes to the order complete or the order transaction successful page, the revenue counter increases. That's measurement. You're measuring the revenue as it increases. You're measuring the number of people visiting your website as it increases. So that's measurement. um, yeah, I think almost all the others are very clear to you guys. So this is what digital analytics. So digital data is all the data that is generated on your website, okay, or on your mobile website as well. So you should know that you are able to measure all of these KPIs, both your website as well as your mobile website, as well as the apps that you use. You don't know for sure right now at this point that the apps that you are using, how many of them are tracked using digital analytics. Now, digital analytics will tell you the type of device that you logged in from, which location did you access it from, and stuff like that, right? So that's why apps ask for a lot of details as well. Apart from that, uh, the customer behavior, that's a very key thing. Somebody talked about and understanding customer behavior. How did they do on the website? Now on your website, how is the customer behaving? Is he making a purchase in 4 minutes? Is he making a purchase taking longer amount of time? Right? There are different types of products also. Some products are don't need a lot of time for people to buy because it's a simple decision. Like for example, fruits and vegetables, right? You know which fruits and vegetables you need to buy. You don't think about it a lot. It's not involving a lot of money. Plus, it's something that you already know. You can make a quick decision. In case you want to buy something else which is more cost involved, you need to buy a car. You'll probably put months of thoughts. You'll do a lot of research. You'll go through a lot. On a car company's website, you cannot definitely expect every person who comes in to view the cars there to purchase, right? No, they'll be just coming to see which are the models. Probably they don't have the money right now. They'll come back at a later stage, get a lottery, come back, and then probably buy it, or take a loan, or maybe get rich with business, or they probably planning to buy it after a couple of years. They'll just come and check it out. But there are other products where you can make your purchase instantly, right? So depending on the lot of products, the decisions that you need to take will be different. But you need to understand how the customer is behaving on. Can we create a website without coding? Yeah, you can actually. So there are a lot of user interface based. I think Wix is an example. There are other websites that allow you to create websites. Basically websites that allow you to create websites. Just need to sign up, then they'll make it easy for you. Yeah, you can make money by creating your own website. Yes, because you need to find out how you are going to make money on your website. There are different ways of doing it. One way is that's a very big topic, and it'll take me out of the scope also. But one way is to have e-commerce on your website if you are selling something on your website. If not, then there are a lot of other things that you can have online courses or some kind of content. You know, uh, you can make money on. Yeah, WordPress is a good example. Following that out. Drupal is a content management system. Uh, can I measure my website traffic's characteristics? I mean, their buying abilities, their purchasing power, right? Yeah, that's a very good question. So I can understand. So the kind of traffic that's coming to my website, I have very limited data about them, right? But I do have some very useful data. Now, one thing that Google gives you, or Google Analytics gives you, is you are able to tell what are the different interests of the users who come to your website. Like some people are interested in travel, some people are interested in cooking, some people are interested in various other things, right? So those kind of interests you are able to understand, and using that you are able to target to those people. So if you are creating some content on travel, you can target it to those people. So that's definitely possible. But the buying capability, or the purchasing power of the customer, like does he have enough money to buy my product? Right now I don't think there's a way to do that, and obviously probably I can follow up on this and get back to you. But um, as of what I'm aware, you cannot know about their buying, purchasing power. Maybe I can think about it more, and there may be a different way to get the same answer, but there's no straightforward way to do it. To answer your question, Prashant, um, can you please tell how can we start freelance on digital analytics? Yes, Ajay, we can definitely connect. That's definitely a one-to-one conversation. We can connect on that. You can just connect with me on LinkedIn. We can definitely have a conversation there. I'll come back to the scope. So we are going to talk about the ABCs of digital analytics. Now, literally, they are ABCs. They're not just like basics. Ho gaya to ABC. Not saying in that sense. ABC, as in they are literally ABC. Now, the A stands for acquisition. Okay? What is acquisition? What are you doing to attract traffic to your website? That is acquisition. How are you bringing people to your website? What are the different things that you are doing not on your website, apart from your website? What are the different things that you're doing to bring in people? You know, one simple example I can give you. I'm just pinging my friend on WhatsApp, and I'm telling him, you know, okay, www.wjjeans.com. This is my new website. That's one thing I'm asking him to do, and come and visit the website. So that's a very small scale activity which I'm doing, right? I cannot WhatsApp 1,000 or 10,000 people at a time to promote at a large scale. What could be some of the large scale activities that you could do? Let's give those answers, guys. I think, yeah, because the video should be available. Some of you already mentioned these answers, the possible answers to this question earlier. How can you bring more traffic to your website? Advertisement. Nazil, good to see you on the session. Yes, you can definitely do advertisements. Google Ads, yeah, that's a Shubham's statement is directly related to what Nazil said. Google Ads is the online way of advertising, right? That's one of the platforms there. There's others like Bing. I mean, digital marketing, yes. So digital marketing could be through your social media or referrals, existing offers and collection. Okay. Yeah, giving out offers. That's right. Both Vikas and Pradnya, giving out your offers is correct, but which mediums are you using to give out the offers? Right. That's what matters. It's not the promotional activity that you're doing. Are you sending it as an email? Now, email is a very good way to market and bring people to your website. Give a link. Give a how many of you are signed up on Zoom card? If you have signed up for Paytm, you'll be getting all of these emails, right? Okay, the coupon code. If you are using Box 8 for your food, you get a coupon code, and then people will visit your website. You'll have a link there. You click on the link, you go to the website. So these are your channels. These are the different. Look at it like some kind of funnels which are actually bringing your people to the website. Uh, Backlinks, yeah, yeah. You could add your hyperlinks on different areas, right? On related websites, in other articles or blog posts. Those could be your referrals. Yeah. Uh, People will not talk about SMS marketing. SMS is, it's not a very big one, but it's there. Email, social, there is organic traffic also. Yeah, social media marketing blogs, I'm right on point. There is also organic search. What is organic search? Organic search is basically your Google search or your Bing search or any of those search engines, which is bringing organic traffic to your website. Now, to improve your search engine results, you need to implement SEO. Somebody mentioned SEO earlier during the chat. So SEO is something you need to do to bring your website on the top of the list when somebody searches for words, right? Um, influencers, yes, you can use influencers to bring people to your website, but influencers, how are influencers going to do it? They are probably going to put the link in below their YouTube videos or in their Instagram posts somewhere, right? So those are the social or the referral. So again, influencers are using referral. Natural audience that is coming to the website. Very good point, Shivam. That is where you create more awareness so that, for example, Intel or Lenovo or Sony or Google or Facebook, these are the brands that you're already aware about. You are aware about the brand. You don't need to even go to Google to search for the website. You just go to facebook.com, Intel.com, Lenovo.com, or any other .coms for that instance. So, uh, natural audience that is coming to the website. That's also a channel, by the way. It's called direct channel. So direct channel, there are two ways in which you call it direct. One is if a person is typing the URL in the web page, in the browser, and then clicking enter, or if the person actually creates a bookmark, then clicks on that bookmark. These are the two ways that people can come directly to the website. So that's the direct channel. Okay. Bots can generate traffic, yes. Uh, Yep, search engine SEM. SEM is the paid ads or the Google ads. That is SEM. Yeah, and just maybe mark your attendance on the link that we just shared. Share that. The next in the ABCs of digital analytics is behavior. What happens once the users land on your website? So now you have people actually, coming from different sources. Somebody clicked the link to your website from Facebook. Somebody did it from email. Somebody did it from other website that was referring. They reached the website eventually. Now that they've reached the website, what are the different things that the user does on your website? What could be the different things that the user could do on your website? Yes, Sachin, WhatsApp marketing, yes. Not sure, I'm not very much aware about how much exponentially WhatsApp for business can improve your marketing. I've never experimented that, but yeah, it is comparatively small scale compared to the other maybe Mailchimp can help you send emails to thousands of people at a time. Difference between SEO and analytics, that's a very good question. I'll address that. So difference between SEO and analytics, that's a good question. So SEO is one of the channels that is bringing people into my website. SEO is for organic search, is for all the search engines to display your result at the top. Uh, Now, how is it different from analytics? Analytics is the measurement that you are doing on your website once people reach the website. So SEO is something that brings people to your website, which is before you reach the website, and analytics is something like, okay, after people reach my website, what are things that they are doing. Analytics also analyzes where they came from, but nothing before that, right? Which is the other website that my user visited before this. May not tell you that if the user is, directly putting the URL and entering your website. If he's clicking that link, and it is getting redirected to your website, and it has some parameters in the URL, then Google Analytics can capture that and tell that, okay, this person came from one of the referral websites. So the URLs also need to be designed that way, so to tell you that, okay, the person came from this. Those are called parameters. We won't talk into more detail because it will get very technical there. Uh, yeah, yeah. So whether he's making purchase or not, that can be one of the. Uh, that's more towards the next point, which is conversion. How are you enabling the users to transact on your website? Okay. Now these things, or conversion for that matter, may not always necessarily mean a purchase on your website, right? If you are a purely focused e-commerce business, where, like, for example, Amazon, Flipkart, or any of those other websites that sell through e-commerce, then your conversion for you is the number of purchases that you have made on the website. But for other companies, like for example, Intel does not sell its processors directly to people. Intel does not have e-commerce on its website, right? What do people do to get, what do people consider as a conversion on the Intel website? Maybe somebody is filling up the contact us form and clicking on, I'm interested. That is that is a lead. The lead basically is somebody who could be probably interested in, buying your eventual product or getting associated with it. Now that is a conversion for Intel rather than somebody making a purchase because they don't have e-commerce on their business. Yeah. Uh, so these are the ABCs: acquisition, how people came in; behavior after coming in, what are the things people are doing; conversion. Okay, eventually on the website, did they convert? Did they add value or add revenue to your business? Now let's look at the conversion funnel. Okay, the conversion funnel is something. So all of you know how a funnel looks like, right? Imagine a funnel in your mind. Now I'm going to talk about the conversion funnel, which is involves, this is something like, this is the top of the funnel where a large number of people are visiting your website. Now look at the width of that piece of the funnel. It is very large because a lot of people are visiting the website, right? Now, will all of these people make a purchase on your website? No, definitely not. Will 50 percentage of these people make a, you know make a purchase on your website? If you look at most of the website statistics, that number is very low. Trust me, the number can be, not even 50 percentage, not even. Can you give me like an industry standards, or what is the benchmark of the number of people that will actually purchase from your website in terms of percentage? Like for example, if there are 100 people who came to visited my website and 10 people purchase something, that is a 10 percentage conversion, right? What is the industry benchmark, or the considered to be a realistic conversion rate number? Can you give a wild guess? Yes, Varsha, I can. 30 percentage, Palash. Okay. I wait for more inputs. Ajay, 5 percentage, 40 to 50 percentage. 30, 30 to 40 percentage. Even 50 percentage. Absolutely not possible, even unless you are like a marketing, right, genius, and that's reality for you. But yeah, it's not. There's nothing bad in being optimistic, right? 50% of the people coming to my website will purchase. That's what you should aim for. Achieving that is a bit difficult in reality. Nazil says 20 to 30 percentage. Adnan says 20 to 25 percentage. Okay. 45. Farhan, you sound a bit pessimistic, but maybe you are being a bit more practical also. Dipen says 10 to 20 percentage. Oh, Dipen just brought the numbers down from 50 because I mentioned that to him earlier. Okay. Uh, Now you are more closer, Dipen. Anyone else? Okay, so I'll say that Ajay and Farhan were the ones who were closest to the numbers. The websites that I have analyzed so far, those are multiple ones, 10 to 15 of them. Most of them have a conversion rate between 1.5 to 5%. 1.5 to 5%. That is currently the average if you look at the industry. You know, there may be outliers here and there. You will once in a while you'll probably see websites that have conversion rate of very high numbers. But if you look at so I'm talking about big brands here. Okay, I'm talking about the kind of brands which are completely everybody knows. Like for example, Apple is a brand that almost everybody knows. So there's a chance that more people are visiting your website also compared to the ones that are less known. Right? That's why their conversion rate is low for another reason because uh, millions are visiting your website. All of those millions don't want to purchase, right? Only eventually some of them purchase. So then eventually the conversion rate goes down. But if you look at those big brands and the ones that are established in the market, most of them have a conversion rate that are these low numbers. Right? So that's about your website visit. So that's the top of the website, the conversion funnel. The next is a product view. Now you see how the width of the funnel just decreased now. Out of all the people who visited your website, not all of them will view the products. Now the product view is basically you go to one of the product views, right? Okay, why don't I quickly go to Amazon.com, show it to you on a live website. So if you can see my screen, can you see my browser screen? Can somebody please confirm that you're able to see my browser screen? Awesome. Yep, incognito mode because of cookies. So I don't want to store my cookies on this, laptop. We'll talk about cookies more. You can see cookies and site data mentioned here. We'll talk more about incognito mode later. And there's a reason why I'm using it because I don't want to save my credentials that I'm using over here. I don't want to save it. If I close this, those credentials don't get saved here. We'll talk about that more. That's definitely part of the agenda for the session today. But yeah, good call out. Shivam. Yeah, I'm on Amazon.in. Now, how did I enter this Amazon.in page? What is the channel that I used for entering this Amazon.in page? Can somebody mention in the chat? Which channel did I use to enter Amazon.in? Waiting for the right answer. Yeah, channel means that, so we talked about different ways in which people can visit my website. Through email, it can be through social media, right? So if I had gone to one of the emails that Amazon sent me and clicked on a link there and that link redirected me to the website, that is where the channel is email. Which channel did I use here? Right now I entered the URL in the browser and I entered the website. Direct. Adnan, you are right on point. So that's the correct answer. The channel name here is called Direct. Okay. I'll quickly go to the Google Analytics interface. Screen still. Yeah. Let me just show you. So you see the ABCs of analytics that we talked about: acquisition, behavior, and conversion. So this is your Google Analytics, and this is the reporting interface that it shows. Okay. And none of this data is confidential, so don't worry that I'm not showing the data for one of my client accounts. I wouldn't be able to show that because that's against their data privacy. This is public data that Google has made available about Google Merchandise Store, which is accessible to you also if you sign up for Google Analytics. I strongly recommend that you guys sign up for Google Analytics and explore this on your own after this activity. So I'm going to look at my ABC reports, my acquisition reports. Acquisition is where it tells me about what are the different channels that people used to come to my website. Let me look at the channels here. So like Adnan mentioned, I used direct. Yeah, Amol also mentioned direct. Kant, depend. Yeah. Direct selling is different depend, but direct is the correct word. Direct selling is, somebody walks up to your door and they are trying to sell you something directly. That's direct selling. That's face to face. Somebody's coming and trying to sell. Like for example, there is salespersons who come to your home and try to sell. That's direct selling. But yeah, direct is the right word. Just making your slight correction. Ajay says direct. Yeah. Now, if I look at my channels report here in Google Analytics, you can see that direct is my second. If I so this is sorted by users, which means 1,665 people came through direct. Now, this is for a different website, guys. This is not for the Amazon website that I'm showing here. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to look at Amazon's data because Amazon is not my client. This is Google data about the merchandise store website. But this is giving you an example of how it looks when somebody clicks on the browser URL bar and then enters a URL, enters directly, then that traffic will be shown up here in direct. Meanwhile, if I go to google.com, I'm on Google now, and I went to Google, I'm going to search in Google Amazon. So I'm going to enter amazon.in. There are two ways in which I can enter amazon.in over here. So one is here. I see some ads here. This one is giving me a different view. Let me click on Amazon. A quick look at the URL. Let me look for search for some. Yeah. So switching back, okay, you can see that direct is where people are directly coming from your website, right? Directly using the either the bookmarks. So bookmarks is another option that you use. If you use bookmarks, that will also get attributed to your direct. And then there is also the search ads. So I'm not seeing ads here for some reason now. Not sure why, but usually you see the ads either at the top. Okay, here's an ad. Uh, I used the ad at the top. Did not load earlier, but now I came in through an ad. Okay, so when I use ads, it will go to my paid search. So paid search is where somebody, these 34 people clicked on ads and came to the website. These 16665 people used either the URL directly or they entered a bookmark. These are the people who came through the Google search results or other search results. So if I click on organic search, it gives me a breakdown of the different uh, Google merchandise store. Or, these are the keywords that the people actually use. So a bit more detail. Now we'll walk through the analytics interface later. So now again back to Amazon. I can go to one of the product pages, right? So I can go to this is my product list page. Okay. So these are all e-commerce terminology. If you are in digital analytics, you will need to understand this terminology. This is a product list page. I click on one of the products. This is the product page. Okay. This is considered as a product view. Now, in my analytics reports, it gets measured that this Surf Excel Matic Liquid Super Saver Pack had a product view by somebody who visited from Navi Mumbai using a Google Chrome browser, from a Sony laptop. So all of this information gets passed on. Um, that's a quick reality check on what analytics can do, guys. This is just a sample. Yeah. Everything making sense till this point? Just a quick health check. Anybody has any questions? Are things all good? Are you able to understand the concepts that I'm trying to explain here? Difference between organic and direct. Good question, Palash. So organic is when people go to search engine like Google.com or Bing or other Yahoo was a search engine. I don't know if it's clear. go there, click on, search for a website, and then click on the links that are showing up in the search results. So that is organic. Now, to improve your organic search performance, you need to do SEO, or search engine optimization, to bring your website's uh, link in the top results of the search page. That's organic. Direct is where you directly enter the URL into the, you just type www.amazon.in, or you use a bookmark to access it. Rupen has confirmed things are good so far. Others, do you feel that you are able to understand everything? I'll wait for the answer. I think there's a 10-second lag between me actually asking the question and YouTube actually showing it. So go ahead and proceed. You can respond. So the next step in the funnel, a lot of people added products to their, they viewed the products, and then the people will add the product to the cart. Now, think about an actual offline store, a DMart or a Walmart, where you actually take a cart, you add items into your cart. That is the next step of your funnel. If you look at it, not all people will add items to the cart. Some people will just browse, walk through, and then just do window shopping. How many of you do window shopping? You just go to a mall, just check out all the stores, from the window. Probably do walk inside, take a look, ask a few questions, and then you don't eventually buy anything, right? So most of us have already done that. Can we have a session on SEO? Good question, Aisha. I'm not an expert on SEO. I just know the very basics of SEO, but we can probably try to arrange something. Even share some resources. If you want to learn about SEO, just you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll probably send some resources your way. Um, yeah, Nazil has a question. If paid visits to a website is very lower when compared to direct visits, does it mean that paid advertisement is not that effective? Very, very good question. Guys, please focus on the question that is asked by Nazil, okay? This is how a class functions, right? You need to pay attention to what others are also asking so that you can learn from that. Now, it's low compared to your direct visits, okay? Which means that, yeah, your paid, that definitely means that your paid advertisement is not that effective, okay? Now, I'll give you more context about this. How are you getting more paid visits? That is when you are bidding on the right keywords. That's one thing. You need to bid on the right keywords. If somebody is searching for, you know, if somebody wants to come to Amazon.in, and if they're searching for the word grocery, you know, out of 1,000 people who came to your website, probably 900 people were searching for the word grocery, and Flipkart came on top before Amazon, because Amazon did not bid on that keyword, because you bid on keywords, you place money, like betting, not exactly betting, but sometimes it's like a bet, it's like a gamble. Sometimes you put money on a keyword, it works, you make a lot of people come to your website. Sometimes it doesn't. So if Amazon is not bidding enough money on the word grocery, and if actually people are using the word grocery a lot, then Amazon is making a miss. That could be one reason why Amazon's paid search is not working well, right? How do you bid for the right keyword? There are a lot of this SEM rush. There are other other I think there's something called ads. I can't recall the name exactly, but there are a lot of resources or third parties which will tell you these are the keywords that your customers are searching for. I think Fahsham had recently asked me this question also, that how do I find out what are the keywords that my target audience is searching for? I shared those resources with him as well. Now, so to answer your question, Nazil, the the paid visits to the website is definitely not performing well. Now, if you are getting a lot of direct visits, so you're saying that the direct visits are higher, which means your brand awareness is doing well, because you cannot, make people enter the URL and come to your website without increasing your brand awareness. How do you increase your brand awareness? Maybe on an offline store, offline banner, you're displaying your website in big bold letters. That's how you're telling people that, okay, intel.com, okay, that's how. Then people will recall that, and then they will actually type it, right? In the online world, that's not how it happens. If you see something on facebook.com, you don't look at the link and then you don't go and type. You click on that link, it hyperlinks and gets you to the website. So direct के लिए you will always need more awareness, more people aware about your brand, more people know the exact URL of the website. And a good fact is that people have bookmarked your website. People will only bookmark your website if they find value in that website, something that they frequently visit. So yeah, if direct numbers are high, it means the brand awareness is high, so you're doing good there. But yeah, paid search, if you look at it ideally, your paid search is not doing well. So if you look at the Google Analytics report that I showed you earlier, the paid search was not doing well at all. It was totally on the bottom side of things. But yeah. And yeah, that's again dummy data by Google. Obviously, if Google wanted paid search to be on top, it could eventually do that. Google owns Google Ads. So it was just again a merchandise store data. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, and somebody wanted the LinkedIn profile, so I shared that. Um, please stay in touch, guys. Please connect. I'll be adding you to the LinkedIn group where I'll be sharing more details. You can ask me a question anytime during the day. Now, people who know me know this. I've connected with people at 11 p.m. in the night just after my work, just to clear their doubts on Power BI and Tableau, and just to help them out. And that guy had actually, he had to solve this problem for his work, for his office, and he was totally worried, and he called me, and I solved this problem. I'm not saying that I'm an expert on every topic, but at least at least on the thought process side of things, I can figure out. I'm a problem solver. So just to tell you that, no problem, Aisha. The checkout is the next step. So after adding the items to the cart, you can do a checkout. So that's a lesser, number of people. So the width of each of these items indicate the number of people actually who did that. So that will keep going down because lesser people did the further activity, right? Eventually the purchase. So this is the bottom of the funnel. Now what you need to do is bring maximum number of people from the top funnel to your bottom of the funnel so that you get the eventual money or the revenue out of your e-commerce website, right? That's what marketers focus on. One of the tools that will definitely enable you in improving the conversion funnel is digital analytics. Or the different tools are Google Analytics or Adobe Analytics. Right? Let's understand conversion funnels better. Any questions? That's fine, Ajay. I'll remember your name because you have been continuously commenting on the YouTube chat, right? So I'll remember your name. Don't worry about them. Okay. You can after I accept your connection, you can always send me a message. Um, let's understand conversion funnels better. I'm going to talk about a few more points. Identify the steps where maximum customers drop off. Those are the customer pain points. Now, if you understand that, if you look at the data on your analytics report and you see that a lot of people have added this particular product to the cart, all of them want to buy it, but the number of checkouts were very low. Why did that happen? That is the pain point. If you see a number which was like 10,500 people added to cart and then suddenly it went down to 50, that's a very big drop, right? 10,500 people added to cart, only 50 people purchased. If you look at a DMart, let's give you a very typical DMart example, right? This is a very interesting example. You were standing in, you went to DMart at 11 p.m. This has happened with me also. Probably it has happened with you. You went there at 11 p.m. late in the night after your work or whatever. You just got free, but you need to urgently buy some stuff. You went in there and then people are like, shops closed. You're like, you just need 5 minutes. You go inside, add a lot of items to your cart. Now your cart addition is increasing, right? Let's connect the offline and the online scenarios here. Your cart additions are increasing. You're adding a lot of items on your cart. And then at the end, when you reach the checkout counter, the person at the counter is like, counter closed. So whose loss is it? I know most of you will think, okay, what's DMart got to lose, right? That DMart is performing really well. The founder was one of the top people within the richest people in India as well. That's not the point. The point I'm trying to make here is, okay, the person who wanted to buy the stuff, he did not get a chance to buy. He had a loss, but DMart also had a revenue loss, right? Now, if this is only one individual and this is just happening at 11 p.m. in the day, that's not a problem for DMart. But imagine your website, you're going to the checkout at the website and the site is continuously crashing. Okay, this is happening for not one, two, but for 11, 12, 11,000 customers maybe. And it is not happening only at 11 p.m., it's happening throughout the day. And nobody knows about this. That's the worst part. You don't have Google Analytics. You don't have, you're not monitoring the comments that people are putting on Facebook saying that your checkout pages are not working. You're not taking any of these activities. You will never know that this is the pain point. You just sit at the end of the day looking at the revenue numbers and I'm like, what happened? You'll be like, what happened? You will never know what hit you. You want to measure, you want to understand what exactly happened, look at your funnel report. Your funnel report will tell you the cart additions were so many, the checkouts were not so many, why people dropped off. So that is uh, that is how it works. Okay, so identify where people drop off, and those are the pain points. See a couple of questions. So Viva, sister, thank you for the question. Will we be able to differentiate the paid visits from different sources? um, yes, you will be able to do that. So if a paid search is from Google Ads, you will be able to see that it came from Google Ads. It is from a different paid search tool that's available. You'll be able to see that. So all of that data is captured. Good question. Sometimes the fake websites do come to the top of the search. What would you like to say about it? Yeah, this is a scam that has been happening recently, right? That's a very good point, Nikhil. It's a bit out of context, but yeah, it is not out of context because you talked about search engine and search results. People search for customer care numbers, and the top links are phishing links. Phishing, not FISHING, it's PHISHING. Phishing is where people are giving you a fake website which looks like an actual website, and they get your credit card details and stuff, and they do fraud and they take money from your bank account. That's something that you need to definitely be careful about. So Nikhil, to address that, you need to look at whether you have HTTPS on the URL, which will tell you that the security certificates are in place. You need to also look at grammatical errors and those kind of things. Obviously, search results, you need to use the authentic keywords, right? There are better techniques, and this improves over time. To get better search results, there are better ways to get results. So you can probably Google more about that. I'm not going to talk about that in more detail, but pay attention to the URL. How does the URL look? Now, if you look at a URL, this is a very quick understanding, right? Intel.shopping.com will not be owned by Intel ever, because the domain is not intel.com, the domain is shopping.com. You see multiple dots in a website URL. The last word before the .com will tell you the actual domain of the website. So amazon.shopping.com, no, it will always be shopping.amazon.com. So if you are seeing something where you're getting an email from ICICI, supposedly ICICI, which says ICICI Bank dot transfer.com, that's a fake URL for you. Okay, that's just some quick things you can look at. HTTPS should be there. So these are some things you can look at the URL, and you can listen to sufficient. Okay, so I've addressed your questions. Let's talk about the funnels. You can measure how efficient is the checkout process. So the checkout process can be efficient in different ways. Now, if there are a lot of forms that you have to fill, before you check out, like shipping address, billing address, and every time you make a purchase, it is not getting saved. Every time you have to address shipping address and billing address. If you look at a trend these days, most people do e-commerce purchases from their mobile phone. That's the trend these days. If you look at the actual numbers, the device report, there's a device report also on Google Analytics. Okay, I'll go to that later. But in that report, you will see how many people came from desktop mobile. I've looked at the actual numbers for websites like, for instance, Lenovo.com, right? Those numbers tell you that more than 60% is coming to mobile. Now you need to make your site good for mobile, right? That's the thing you need to do. You need to make sure that people are not experiencing UX issues or any other kind of issues on your mobile website. Something you definitely need to do. You need to test. This is another LinkedIn post that I recently shared, that you need to test your website using the smallest screen mobile that you can find. The small screen ones are the ones that will tell you, okay, कि ये चीज़ नहीं दिख रहा है, scroll नहीं कर पा रहा, I'm not able to click on a link, it is not getting completely visible. So though test using your small screen devices, and obviously mobile website को अगर address नहीं किया, then you will not see a lot of desktop website ही test करते रहो and you keep improving it, it won't work for you, because the majority traffic is coming from mobile. Make it easy for them. Don't give a zoomed out big screen where you click, you know how much is the width of your thumb. With your thumb you cannot select a theater ka movie seat when it is like completely zoomed out. You're looking for seat in this row, but it's getting clicked somewhere else. These are all UX issues. These are real issues that people are facing, customers are facing. You need to design your website better. And obviously, if you want to measure what are the problems, digital analytics. Identify bugs and glitches. Which are the pages that are giving the 404 error not found errors, right? Understand abandonment rate. What is abandon? Abandon is, I was pushing a cart till now and then I just abandoned the cart. I just, kept the cart away. I'm like, I'm not going to buy these products. So probably you added a lot of items to your cart. You just abandoned. You just left the website. That's your abandonment rate. And understand why people are leaving their carts. You know, for instance, some of you may be doing this. I do this sometimes. I go to Amazon. I add items to cart just so that I can buy in future. It's like my favorite list or my wish list. How many of you do that? Just put a message on the chat. If you go to Amazon, use the cart as like a wish list. For even after 2 months, if you come there, it will still be there in your cart. So you know that you are using it, right? And Amazon will be wondering why is this person not buying, right? Amazon will obviously not look at why is one individual person not buying, but that kind of behavior happens across a lot of people. Amazon will be concerned. Um, yeah. Okay, now is the pro productivity tip. So if you remember earlier, I mentioned that there are different sources of learning that are my that you can all leverage. This is the app that I personally use, and it is a very beautiful app. Okay, so go to your mobile phones, your Play Store or your App Store. I'm not sure whether this app is there on the App Store, but you can check it out in the Play Store. You can also check in the App Store, and if it's available, please go ahead and download it right now. Search for Google Primer. So Google Primer is the app that I'm talking about. Uh, Let me just quickly take you the, the interface here, right? So I can access it using the website also, but I don't think I can go into the individual lessons. But what does the Primer app give you? It has content around all of these different. If you're able to view my browser screen, it has content about around all of these different topics. Now, in marketing and measurement, let's look at analytics for instance. These are the different topics that it has. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard about Avinash Kaushik. He is the digital analytics guru. Okay, he was with Google hired him at some point back in the 2000s. That's when digital analytics became viral and everybody started. He's like the evangelist or the biggest guru in uh, digital analytics. You can follow him maybe on LinkedIn. Following on other channels also can work. So yeah, there are courses by people like Avinash Kaushik, and these are not your 1 hour or 2 hour courses. To complete one course like this, it takes you 5 minutes, and the interface is very good. So how many of you use the InShots news app? It is like you just 60 words and you just slide up news articles. Similarly, this one has even lesser number of words and it is very colorful, very interactive. The font is really nice. And there are a lot of cards, probably 25 to 30 cards. You slide up and read the 25 to 30 cards within 10 minutes and you will learn one session. And it is not in depth, by the way. So don't go with the expectation that you will be a pro in that topic after that. But you'll understand the basics of that topic. There are different interesting topics. This is my pro productivity app for the day. I have a couple more apps lined up in the coming videos or in the further part of this video. So for those of you who are not aware, next Saturday or Sunday, Saturday, we're going to have another session which is a continuation of this. I'll be going on there in more detail about this. This is one app that I want to suggest to you guys. So yeah. Let's get back to the topic. So here's time for another story. Now, if you remember my earlier story, it was about WJ Jeans and how he set up e-commerce and all of those things. Now I'm going to another story. This is an actual incident. Okay, so this is an actual case. Um, yeah, yes, Nikhil. So none of those checks that you do can be complete checks. There is still a chance that you get trapped, but you get to avoid the 90% of the risk when you check that. So even some of the HTTPS websites, like I said, there's no complete foolproof way of doing it unless you are an expert. Obviously, you can do more research about it. But these are the basic checks that I've done so far, and it has helped me so far. Yeah, you can do more research about it. Next, so this is the story. There was this direct selling organization worldwide. So direct selling is where you actually walk up to your door, do salespeople, then sell your product. So they set up an e-commerce as a channel in the North America. So NA stands for North America. So They actually set up e-commerce. They deployed digital analytics on the website, like you already said. They observed that there is very high traffic from mobile devices, and this is the actual reality I was talking about. More than 60% of people visiting your website would be from mobile these days. The conversion rate was very low actually. It was zero point 0.6 to 0.7 percentage. You realize the number? Earlier I was saying 1.5 to 5 percentage is the expected conversion rate. This conversion rate is even worse. It's zero point 0.6 to 0.7 percentage of the people who come to the website who are actually purchasing something. Um, so the opportunity area or the problem statement was identified through digital analytics. Once digital analytics was set up for the website, then Apple Pay was suggested as a recommendation. So if you look at the background image that I've used here, you can see an iPhone there. Now, if you are looking at the North American market, which is the US and Canada, and majority of the people there use iPhones. So iPhone is most popular in that continent, North American continent. Um, Now, that's the reason why we recommended Apple Pay as a payment method for iPhone because more than 60% people are coming from mobile devices, and out of those mobile devices, more than probably another 50 or 60% is coming through Apple devices. And Apple Pay is a one-touch payment. Like people are checking out and they just need to do a fingerprint authentication to make the purchase. It's very quick. The quicker or the lesser number of steps you have in your checkout process, the more conversion you get. And as a result of this recommendation, the conversion rate improved to 2.5%. Just a very big jump, right? That is an actual business use case. And this is how. Now, I know some of you may be wondering, 0.7 percentage was my initial conversion rate, 2.5 percentage is my end conversion rate. That's just like a bump in like 2 percentages. How big is that? You actually convert that to revenue. Okay. Look at, so the conversion rate, when 2 percentage more people actually purchase, that is a 2 percentage of a very large number. Not, if you look at a monthly level, it could be close to a million profits. Out of that 2 percentage, they will translate revenue. So 2.5 percentage, as I said, is still within your industry. Obviously, you shouldn't stop at 2.5 percentage. Aim for something than high 5 or 10%. But not all brands are able to do that. They are still trying to do that. It's a process to it. But even if you are able to make a small change in your conversion rate, even if it's a 1 percentage, that's a very big bump in your revenue. Okay. Yeah, Fission analytics. Do we apply advanced analytics? It's a good question. Advanced analytics is more of your MLs and your data science or your Python. That it is definitely there in the picture, but that is used by Google Analytics at the back end or Adobe Analytics at its back end. It is not used by yourself. You don't have to use advanced analytics directly. You don't have to script or code anything here. It's done at the back end. So there is definitely application of that, but as a user, as an implementation guy, you don't need to do advanced analytics at this point. But with the insights that you're getting from or the data that is collected from Google Analytics, you can obviously apply your machine learning algorithms or your advanced analytics techniques. So there's definitely scope for application there. Hey Nishant. Yeah, okay. I heard this concern that the voice is cracking a bit, so keeping the mic closer just to avoid that. If it's making too much of a problem, let me know. Yeah. So how does the traffic reach e-commerce website Fission Analytics? So I already talked about that earlier. Fission Analytics, the different channels through which the people reach the website. Direct is when they directly enter search engines, emails, and these are. Um, yep. Most of the companies use output of these tools for Adobe Analytics. Yes. Uh, so what did you learn about digital analytics so far? It enables continuous improvement of online web experience for customers. Right? Now, experience is a very focused upon word. If you look at it, if you go, if you've ever been to a Starbucks, the reason why people spend more money in Starbucks is not for the incremental amount of taste that the Starbucks coffee gives you. It is definitely for the experience of sitting in that kind of an environment, spending time getting great customer service, personalized customer service. You get your name called out when your coffee is ready. So that's an experience. That's why people are spending the additional bucks for the coffee. Experiences are what sell these days. Adobe is a pioneer in this. So Adobe has different product clouds. It has the creative cloud. It has the document cloud. Document cloud is where Acrobat Reader is a part of the document cloud. It also has the experience cloud. The experience cloud has products like Adobe Analytics, which is a competitor of Google Analytics. It is a paid version of Adobe, paid version. It does not have a free version. So, costs you about a crore or so if you want to set it up. So only the big brands go for it. They have a lot of budget, with the big brands go for it. So Adobe has other targets, other products like Target Audience Manager. These are something that we use to target specific people, manage different type of audiences that come to your website. Those are all there. But Adobe focuses on the digital experiences. So in this year's summit, which happened virtually, Summit is a conference that is done by Adobe every year in Las Vegas, Nevada. You do it in a physical setup every time, but this year they had to do it virtually due to COVID. I'm going to share the link of the Adobe Summit with you guys on that LinkedIn messaging group once you join that group. So it has a lot of videos about the cut through breaking edge technologies that Adobe has come up with in analytics, and it will give you a lot of insights. But yeah, why digital analytics? The customer's online web experience. While the person is visiting the website, what is his experience? That is what you know we need to do. So yeah, CCD and Starbucks give same experience when you go to the center, right, of the revenue. Yeah, vision analytics, actually, we are need to focus a bit more on the content here. There's a bit more that I need to look at, and some of these questions we can definitely talk about, offline, because they don't come in directly into the scope of the session. But yeah, there are some. If you can read, I suggest you read about the case studies of how Starbucks is doing it differently compared to CC. Now you're looking probably only at the Indian scenario. You should also look at it from a global scenario. You need to look at how they have done it in other countries. Yeah, so that's about it. Now, obviously, if you look at the numbers, it may not always be that Starbucks is the leader. I'm not looking at any of those. The reason why people go to Starbucks and how their marketing has worked, that's what I'm talking about here. Yep. So enables continuous improvement. Like I said, it provides insights that help to convert more leads into customers. Right. The conversion percentages improve. Understand how customers behave on your website. That's also something you get to understand with digital analytics, and you can make better business decisions. It also includes the study of user behavior on websites, mobiles, and apps. It improves the return on investment. So return on investment is how much money you have invested in your marketing efforts, but what is the actual revenue you are generating out of it. Yeah. Next is, if you look at the insights on marketing channel performance, that's another insight that you get. Now, as an application of digital analytics, this is the continuous improvement cycle that you need to follow. So initially, you should measure what are the metrics currently after you set up analytics. What are the current number of people visiting my website? What is my current revenue and other metrics? You should create reports based on that. You should analyze the reports. The next step, analyzing the reports, and then you should do some testing. So based on the analysis that you have, you should also create some hypothesis that if I change the number of steps in the checkout, probably my conversion will increase. So you make some testing, you make some A/B testing. You create a hypothesis, you do A/B testing. There are tools like Adobe Target which will help you, show different scenarios to different people who visit the website. One person he'll see something, for another person he'll see something else, and at every point it will collect data that this technique is working more with this type of users, and eventually the website is updated to show that use that technique. The revenue increases multifold. That's why people are using it. After your testing, obviously you should come back and measure it. So it's a closed loop. Do your testing again, measure it again, report, analyze, and test. So this is your continuous improvement cycle. Now, what are the different questions that can be answered? So we already talked about some of these things before. Uh, yeah. As a fresher, are these tools you mentioned in? Yeah, Telium is another enterprise tag management system. Again, that is a bit more in depth. But yeah, Adobe Analytics, Google Analytics are the basic ones if you want to do, not even without complete end-to-end tag management solutions, you can still set up analytics. Like Google Analytics does not necessarily need tag management solution. But yeah, again, it's a topic for advanced digital analytics and not basic digital analytics. So I won't go into more depth there. Uh, so if you are not aware about TDM, Adobe or Google, if you are going for starters, go to Google Analytics Academy and do a Google Analytics for beginners course, then do a Google Analytics advanced course and Google Analytics for power users. So you should start with Google Analytics, and not necessary that you need to know JavaScript beforehand. If you are not doing using Tag Manager, if you are doing uh, pure implementation, you would need JavaScript. But yeah, I'll stop that conversation now because it can go into a bit more technical and may not, others may not be able to follow completely. But yeah, we can definitely talk more offline about that. Go for it. Number one is which devices were used for while visiting your website. Number two is where did the user log in from, the location, not your street address or anything, but at least the city. Like for example, in my Google Analytics, like for example, Google Analytics window, there is a report here, Geo, PC, mobile, cross device. All of these are also device based. PC, United States. If I click on United States, it will show me which regions within California, city, from the city. These are all breakdown reports into that city. So we filtered out only. Yeah. So this is location insights that you can get. So where did the user log in from? You're able to see that. Which browser was used? Was it Mozilla? Was it Chrome? Was it Edge? Did the user add a product to the cart or not? Which pages did the user visit? How much revenue is being generated online? Top marketing channels? How much time was spent? Yep. So these are some of the questions you can answer. Now, how do I set up analytics on my website free of cost? Right? Google lets you do it free of cost. Adobe comes at a cost. Google Analytics, the basic version, will come free of cost. Google Analytics 360 is the paid version, and that's also costly. So almost, I think Google Analytics, as per an earlier quote that I've seen, I don't know if the rates have changed as of right now, but Google Analytics 360 costs about $150,000, but Adobe Analytics costs around $100,000. But Google also gives you the free version. Right? You can use Google free version free of cost, and you can set it up. Let's look at how you can set it up. Right. So again, I'll be sharing the content after this deck, probably on the LinkedIn chat group. So you can all send me LinkedIn connections and share it there. The Google Analytics account that you need to create, I've linked also. Just go to analytics.google.com. You need to sign in using your Google ID, your Gmail ID, or Google ID that you have. You need to set up a property in your analytics account. So the hierarchy in Google Analytics is account, property, then view. So you need to set up a property, you need to set up a reporting view. So I won't go into a lot of details here. I'll take you through the setup in GA right after this. So add a Google generated JavaScript tagging code on your all pages of your website. This is something that you need to do. Now, you have your own website, you have access to the scripts of your website. You need to add, Google will give you detailed instructions. You'll find it online. Just search for Google Analytics help document. Obviously, you can always reach out to me. The Google generated JavaScript tracking code, and it's not a JavaScript code that you have to write. So Fission Analytics, to answer your point, to implement basic analytics on your website, you don't need to know JavaScript. You just need to copy and paste the script that Google provides you, and you paste it on all the pages of your website, all the pages that you need to track. Yeah. Yes, Ajay, I'll definitely share the slides. You have already sent me a LinkedIn request, right? So I'll be sharing that with you. Identify and set up goals to measure for your website. You need to also identify what are the different goals that I want to measure. Is it an e-commerce purchase? Is it Sachin, to answer your question, I'll show you what is property. Just in it is basically like, if you have different in one account, you can also add multiple websites of yours. So each of the website you will add under different properties. So if you have a clothing store, online store, you can add under clothing store property. You can create another property for another website. So that's the property view, or the reporting view is within a property, like within one website. You want to create different types of views where you want to see for a set of pages. You want to have an unfiltered view, which is showing all the traffic even from people visiting from your own company or your own network. So there are different things that you can do. Yeah, you need to identify and measure the goals. You need to evaluate the reports on GA. So start with the real-time reports. I'll show you the real-time reports also. Once we have implemented Google Analytics, basically copy paste, set up your account, create a property, set up your view, then use the JavaScripting code, tracking code. I'll show you where to get that in the video right now. Get the JavaScript tracking code, place it on your website, then you're good to go. You just look at the reports, check whether everything is good. So this is the hierarchy. The top is account. Within one account you can create multiple properties. There's an upper limit for a free A360. You can have views. You can create views of the property reporting. So yeah, good question. Yes. So how Google Analytics get all these data we saw in the dashboard, right? Uh, this is your the JavaScript tracking code is the key thing that you are allowing Google to capture the data. The tracking code placed on your script will send a hit to the Google server. So every time a user lands on the website, there's the tracking code script also that runs along with the website script. So that script will capture certain attributes of the user and the visit, and it will send that data to Google server. From the Google server, it is rendered into the analytics and the reports. That's how Google captures data using analytics. That's the basics. That's the way that if you understand this, you are more than 50% clear on how digital analytics works. So, like I said, there's a tracking code. It fetches the data when the script runs, and it sends the data to the Google Analytics server. Then from the Google server, and that server is owned and managed by Google and not by you. It's not on your premise or in your environment. It's on your. Then it sends the data to the reports. So that I hope that answers your question. Uh, is digital analytics good for any degree or graduation? I didn't get that question exactly. Like okay, or if you are doing any course, yeah. So analytics is not a field where you need to have a particular graduation stream necessarily. It is preferred that if you are in computer science or a BCA, or if you are more familiar with computers, there is probably a preference. When most of these companies do a walk-in interview, they usually do it for the computer science grads, right? That's not mandatorily a case. I'm a mechanical engineer. I didn't have anything to do with analytics, but I got into analytics. Like I said, that was not my choice. I was, it just happened. The placements happened, and I came in and joined my first. But for you guys, if you are targeted and if you want to get into analytics, I know people who have come from different streams and currently working in. They've even worked in different other domains. They switched over to analytics. You probably will have to start as a basic analyst, and then you'll have to, probably grow in your career future along the way. But there is definitely scope in analytics. Just that you need to understand. The thing is, the things that they don't teach you in your courses, the mechanical engineer, whatever engineering that you need to do a lot of self-learning. Adapt. Yes, I will answer that question as well. That is a very good question. Will it use cookie as well? Yes, it will. And I'm going to actually come to that topic a while. So that's how it identifies different. Come to that topic. Uh, you're all set to measure the performance of your website. Yeah. So now that you have set up everything, you can measure the performance. You can sit and look at your dashboards and understand, okay, these are the top pages that are being visited, these are the top products, and so on and so forth. Let's take a quick look at the GA interface. I'm going to give you a quick overview of how things look at the analytics perspective from what we just discussed. So this is the Google Analytics account. Let me go settings or the admin. Now in admin, you can see that this is the account or the demo account that I have access to. Within account, there is a property which is the Google Merchandise Store. So this is for the one particular website. For that particular website, there are multiple views. There is a master view, there is a test view. So if you want to test any changes and before deploying it, all the software guys are probably more aware of it. You can do the testing there. And there is a raw data view also. Like this is unstructured a bit more. If you look at the raw data. So these are the different hierarchies: account, property, and view. And if you look at the under the property, um, something here called tracking info and tracking code. So once you set up your account, property, and view, you need to go under your property settings, go to tracking code, and you see that there is a JavaScript code that's already provided by Google here. I did not enter this here. It's already provided by Google. This is the script that you need to copy and paste in your HTML or in your website script. Okay? And where do you need to provide it? All of those instructions are available. So that's how you need to basically set up. So the account, property view. There are a lot of other reports. We already took a look at some of them. I'll also quickly show you the real-time report, which you need to probably monitor after you set up your Google Analytics. Get your real-time report. If you are actually on the website that time, you will see the number of people that are currently active on the website. If you are the only person that's currently active on your own website, you see right now one user. You will see that that person is located somewhere from you. These are the locations. This is real time, guys. In the Google Merchandise Store website, there are 5 people from Indore. There are 8 from 12 from Hyderabad, so on and so. There are some other. So real time, all of the data is not available real time. Some of the metrics and dimensions are available real time, but some of the others it takes some 24 to 48 hours, depending on what metric they are. It takes some time to actually show up in the report. So if you're doing an action on the website, some of those actions will get captured after 24 hours. If you are using Google Analytics free, if you're using Google Analytics 360, within 4 hours it is guaranteed. I talk about a lot of these changes or these differences in one of my previous videos on LinkedIn. You can check that out as well. Data analytics and digital marketing somewhat same. Yeah, Sachin. So both are different, both are interconnected, but data analytics is can does not need to be digital data. It can be other data also. Even your store data that you are capturing, offline store data capturing, you can apply data analytics and get some insights from that. Digital analytics is purely the analytics of the digital data that is connected from websites, apps, mobile websites. Uh, Digital marketing and digital analytics is also different. Digital marketing is how you are, the focus is more on those social media pages or the social media marketing or the other digital ads that you run. Analytics is not completely focused on the ads that you run. That's the part that is actually bringing people to your website. Once the people come to your website, how they perform, that's analytics. Digital marketing is all of those activities that. Prinsha asked a question earlier about what is the difference between SEO and analytics. So SEO is a digital marketing thing. Digital analytics is, yeah. So data analyst does a lot of activities. So for example, a person who's working on digital analytics will be able to create a lot of reports, fetch a lot of reports from here, look at some data, understand, okay, go back parallelly to the website and see that there's some problems on some of the pages. If I look at the page report, you can also see the pages report, right content. There's an all pages report. Yes. Tells about people's behavior on the website as well. So which are your top pages? A particular page is not doing well. An analyst can go and actually check out that page. So if you click on this arrow button here, you can actually go on this page and see why the numbers were low or the revenue was low, even though it was supposed to bring in more than $100 for something like that. I am giving random examples here, but these are something that a digital analyst can do. I'll go back to the presentation. So let's take a quick quiz, right, guys? Um, so this is what you need to do for the quiz, the YouTube chat. It's a very interesting quiz. All the topics that we talked about just now. So just go to this kahoot.it. It's a link. You just need to copy paste it. It's a verified URL, so don't need to worry about whether it's So some data analysts do coding as well. Depends on the different streams of work. Not all of them. I don't do a lot of coding. I'm not a coder. I don't do a lot. I don't need to do a lot of coding at this point. I'm learning coding parallelly. That's my personal interest. But my work doesn't ask me to do. So just go to this website. Once you go to this website, let me for you guys on. Then probably you'll be asked for a game pin. So I go to it. You all get a chance to do a quick quiz over here. If you are seeing a similar screen, this is the pin that you need to actually enter. That in right here. I'll put it in the chat also for you guys to. So this is the pin. Then you can click on enter the quiz. Yeah, this is the pin section to answer. Uh, so Palash, to get a dummy Google Analytics hands-on expertise, yes, you can do that. So there are, you just need to get those website scripts. You can create a basic HTML. Just search for how to create a basic HTML website, and very easy step. You should be able to do it in less than 10 minutes. Then on that website you can do. So I've put the pin. You can see my screen. Go to Kahoot, enter this pin, click. Yeah. So I see that there are two players right now, Deepen and Shiv. We'll wait for more people to join the quiz. So the I'll give you more details about this quiz. Once you get, once you play this quiz, and if you win this quiz, you will get an opportunity to get a one-on-one mentorship with Sai and myself. So you get a lot of career guidance, sources, a lot of other content that you get it. So wait for you guys to join the quiz. Oh, great! I see more people. More people. I see that there are almost 30 people right now. So if you get to join, yeah, pin is just in the above chat, Manoj. 091689. Pin. Yep, we seem to have 10 players now. You can go ahead and get started. Go ahead and get started. We take like quiz. Meanwhile, anybody on the session, if you have questions, post that. Guys, when you're done with the quiz, just post them. Great. How did we go? Were you able to nail all the answers? For more people? So Pradeep, just in case you have those questions again, the what are the different that a data analyst does out, and this configuration for data analyst does coding as well. Then they have to coding. So there are tools that will just like we're going to talk about Tableau and Power BI as well in one of the other webinars that scheduled for I think it's you'll all get details about it, but please do sign up for that as well. Want to know more about the visualization tools like Power BI and Tableau, which will create beautiful dashboards, charts, statistics. There you'll see how you don't need to do a lot of scripting. You can just do click and drag and drop interface to create beautiful charts and dashboards. Yeah, I see a lot of you have completed the questions, the quiz. So you'll get to know the results as well. Uh, so since we are done for now and we have used up the 2 hours that we had for today, we're going to go offline. But this session is going to resume again next Saturday. Yes. Uh, like I said, stay in touch. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Keep in touch with Let's Upgrade as well. Let's Upgrade has a lot of similar content, and there are going to be courses as well as other activities with you guys. Also going to take you guys can reach out to us about any specific try to include session those as well. So it's all planned. But stay connected to the community. Like I said, the most important part about the 2 hours that you just spent right now is you need to spend a similar half an hour at least every day, be it a weekday or a weekend, to invest in yourself, learn new things. You'll be in a better position. You'll never regret the decision of investing. That's the biggest piece of advice I can give. Uh, I can ask anybody has any questions before we wind up. So, we are officially done with the session. Um, Thank you for attending as well, Mijas. So Mijas is also another brother-in-law of mine. I have a lot of family members also attending because this is my first YouTube live session. I'll be happy to receive some feedback from you guys as well, so you can just pop me a LinkedIn message about whether you like the session or not, how you would like me to do it differently the next time. We can always talk about that as well. No problem, Ajay. Happy to pass on whatever I've learned in the past few. So I will look forward to learn from you guys as well. Hey Nishant, it's really great to hear from you and thank you. Ramya, anybody has questions, we can talk about this. Feel free to reach out. Thank you from Let's Upgrade as well. Welcome. And like I said, everybody has problems. I'm a problem solver kind of guy. You can always reach out to me. It doesn't depend on the time which you're reaching out to me. Uh, Ideally, you can drop me a LinkedIn message. I'm very active on LinkedIn. You can even say I check my LinkedIn notifications more frequently than I check my WhatsApp notifications. And this is another pro tip for you guys. And Amol, thank you for staying till the end of the session. I thought you probably know digital analytics well, so probably you'll drop off somewhere in the middle. Adnan, thank you for staying. No problem. Another pro tip that I can give you is if you want to save more time during your day, uh, just disable all those mobile notifications. I've talked about this in a couple of my previous seminars. You'll see a video on my LinkedIn feed which talks about how I should disable the notifications on your phone. uh, it will save you a lot of time, guys. If you have, the more the number of apps, the more notifications you have, disable all of those notifications. Nothing's going to hurt. Those apps like WhatsApp, you know that you're going to keep checking it every 10-15 minutes, whatever is your usual frequency. Go back and check it every 15-20 minutes, right? Don't let the notifications distract you from what you are doing. Also, forget the notifications. Keep your phone away if you're doing some productive stuff, right? Keep your phone at a position where it's not reachable. You want to pursue other habits, like if you want to do reading, you want to, you know, I don't say Netflix because that's not a very productive habit, at least not for me. Not trying you guys to discourage you from using Netflix. What I'm trying to say is, even on Netflix, there is some really good content, like, you know, uh, which will help you do a lot of productive things. uh, do all the fun things that you do. But what has helped me is that half an hour that I spend on weekends. Nowadays, it's not half an hour that I spend on weekends, it's almost 10 to 12 hours that I spend on productive stuff. I'm engaging with a lot of activity, creating course content for online, doing other stuff like, content for the Digital Analytics Association community, doing creating videos, doing a lot of stuff. So that's my personal interests. But there may be other things that you want to do. It's totally dependent on your interest. It doesn't work copying somebody else who's done doing something else differently. Right? You need to do find your own stuff and do it best. So yeah, I won't stretch it a bit more because it's already 1:30. Yeah, Nikhil, I understand voice was the problem. I'm definitely going to go back and look at how we can have or address that problem. So that feedback. Any other feedback that you don't want to put in the chat, you can put it in LinkedIn messaging directly. I'm a person open to feedback. So thank you, Farhan, for attending. So I'm happy to see the who are there at least till the end of the session, right? Which is a good sign that these are the people who are there at the top of the funnel as well as at the bottom of the funnel. So good analytics standpoint. Thank you, guys. I think drop off in case you don't have any questions. Stay on for a minute more, just in case anybody has any questions. You're free to drop off. Please engage on LinkedIn. Share your comments and views on the post. If you have any feedback about the session, it will really help me also if you are able to post a comment. Thank you, Ashish. Good to hear from you as well. You're also a pro in marketing efforts and journalism, and that's good to have session. Definitely have more sessions. So back off the chat. 20 seconds. Thank you for the feedback, Vikrant. Oh, thank you for the feedback, Peter. So I'll just drop off from this session. Yeah, you please like, share, subscribe the channel, the Let's Upgrade channel, and press the bell icon for regular updates. You would have seen this quote at the end of every YouTube video, so